Welcome to Covert Narcissist 101. Thank you for joining me. Haven't subscribed? Please do. Guys, today's topic is 4 ways you counter the tricks the covert narcissist is trying to play on the kids. 4 ways that you counter what the covert narcissist, the mind games and the lies and the stuff that they're trying to do to the children, without really getting into it, descending the same level that they are on, throwing back, words and all that stuff. 4 ways that you should try to counter this, without resorting to doing what the covert narcissist does, because that's exactly what they're trying to get you to do. You know, one of them, guys, is your actions. I've always said this: your actions, because with the covert narcissist, their action does not line up with words any day. It does not line up with the words that are coming out of their mouth. So for you, your actions is one of the ways you counter what the covert narcissist, the lies and the tricks they're trying to play on the children. And this is, of course, by you leading by example, for one thing. So let's say if you are the one that, pretty much everything that comes your way, you have something negative to say about it, or maybe you start off with some negative comment for anything before you even get to the positive. These things are being, observed by the kids, because, these kids, they pay attention to whatever we're doing more than what we're saying most of the time. So if your reaction to everything, you're that person that is always, you go to the negative first for everything before you come back to positive. This is exactly what's going on in the covert narcissist house. So this is what you do not want. This is not the example you want to set with the children, because they're already observing it over there with the covert narcissist. So you lead, by example. You be consistent. Obviously, you promise you're going to do something, things that you wanted to do, then that needs to get done, because that is not happening with the covert narcissist. They are, telling them whatever they're going to tell them, to get by, doing what they promise they're going to do. So on your end, you obviously be consistent. So your actions need to match what you're saying. It needs to be consistent. You lead by example. So that's one way to counter what the covert narcissist is over there trying to, tell the children. Number 2, guys, is to validate the kids, because nothing validates somebody by, as asking them, what is your opinion? What do you think? Not only does it tell the kids, you want to hear what they have to say. You actually want to listen to what they have to say. You value them enough to get their opinion on things. So when the covert narcissist comes over with, maybe some of that lie that they come with, or maybe something that they did, and you're like, okay, so you ask the children, and this is what I do with my kids. Like, first of all, I'd be like, so what do you think? Maybe this is one of those things where they're supposed to have done something, and then if they find a way, the clover narcissist finds a way to blame you, or for everything, or blame them for not being able to do it, because you guys didn't come out 5 minutes early, so I can't take you over there to go eat, or because your mom didn't tell me, so I didn't show up. Stuff like that happens over and over again. So. And when stuff like that happens, they're blaming, heaping the blame on you. I normally ask the kids, so what would you do? If you were a dad, if you're a mom, what would you do with your kids? How would you do this? Normally the kids would tell you. Most of the time, you'd be shocking to you how they reason with this. Is like, obviously, the complete opposite of what the covert narcissist is saying, which means, as much as the covert narcissist said what they said, the kids know the right thing to do, because by their response, and you wanting to listen to what they have to say, validate them, which is not what is going on in the covert narcissist side, who's trying over there to control everybody, tell everybody what to do, what to think, what to eat, how to function. It's complete opposite on your side. When you ask the kids, so, what do you think? So after they, said whatever they said, the covert said whatever they wanted to say, you asked your children, what do they think about the situation? How would you do with it? If that's your child, how would you do? And like I said, you're surprised what the answer is, and that will tell you where you are with the children. So that's one way to know what the kids are thinking, how they're processing what the covert narcissist is saying, and where you are, that you don't need to say anything else. By their response, that you don't need to go any further. Another one, guys, is obviously do not engage the covert narcissist through the kids. And this is, when they come to you and you're trying to relay messages, well, tell your dad this, well, tell your mom this, and that. No, don't get into that. This is what the covert narcissist wants. It's what they want. And at the same time, you now draw the kids into the situation, which is what the covert narcissist is doing over there. And then now you need to keep the children in the children's place. You need to keep don't get into the game of bringing the children in into the situation, because that's exactly what the Covert Narcissists want to do. Want to drag everybody they're going to use as a weapon against you. So don't even engage that. So if the kids see you that you're not playing that game, no matter how many messages that the Covert Narcissists try to send to you through them, that you don't resort to that. You don't do that. That's how you counter this, because the obvious, like it is, again, your actions, and you're leading by example. That you're not going to go into that. If you need to communicate with them via text or email or whatever, however you do it, then that's how you do it. But most definitely, your children are not going to be used as messenger, no matter what the Covert Narcissist is trying to do. Number 4, guys, obviously here is respond and not react. We talked about it. Respond and not react. It's because when you react, obviously you fly off the handle with what you see, what they said, which is going to be outrageous, and you react with the same measure, and then no. But when you understand what who you're dealing with here, you respond, because responding gives you time to pause. It gives you time to pause, and once you pause, you can literally see the game they're trying to play in the words, in the things that they said, to the children, that, the children are repeating to you. Like I say, for example, is when the Covert Narcissist used to tell the kids, does your mom even care? Wasn't she supposed to remind you guys to do this? Wasn't she supposed to remind you guys to do that? Meanwhile, they are not doing anything. They're not doing anything. So when they come and they, repeat the same thing he's saying, your first reaction would be like, oh, what did he do? But I don't go there. It's like, I normally ask the kids, oh, really? What do you guys think, though? What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that? And they tell you, because, my son will be like, oh, no, you remind us to do stuff. Just because we don't do it, usually for him it's the homework, doesn't mean that you didn't tell us to do it. Okay, I rest my case. I don't react, because that's exactly, they want you to go back and forth. You're not telling the kids. The kids sometimes will feel like they're not being attacked, or depending on how old the kids are. But usually you feel like, they are now in the middle of that conversation, the argument, and then maybe you go and send an email or send a text. And the Covert Narcissist is so happy, because now they fully engage you, and then you're going back and forth. Don't tell my kids this, don't tell my kids that. That's exactly what they want. So you slow down to respond and don't react. And when you want to respond, you give yourself time to think about it. You give yourself time to see the game they're trying to play, because you figure them out, and then you respond accordingly. So that's, some ways that you will deal with the Covert Narcissist attacks on you, or lies and manipulation they're trying to do to the kids, and without resorting to go into the same level that they're trying to drag you down to. They're trying to drag you down to, go back and forth, and then the kids are confused in the middle, because everybody's, over there is negative, then they come to your side is negative too. That's nothing you want to do. All right, guys, get a hold of your mind, and everything to fall into place. Please like and share. Take care.